episode 7 of the Mesopotamia series. Last episode we built 16 houses in the upper city, but we didn't actually add any details to them. So in this episode we're going to be doing a bit of interior as well as exterior design, and adding all the details to these houses. So obviously I'm not going to be including me decorating all 16 houses in this episode. I don't want to make you watch the same thing over and over again, so I'm going to be including a few houses in this episode. Obviously, the other ones I've decorated off camera. So when it comes to Mesopotamian houses, I have a basic idea of what the layout would be. Given our standard courtyard house, all the rooms would obviously be built around the courtyard. All of the rooms would be connected to the courtyard, and obviously there would be 2 longer rooms on the sides, as well as smaller rooms on the corners in the front and back. But other than that, I have a scant idea of what purpose each room would serve, although it would probably depend on the household. Now, I know that it was common for Mesopotamians to have rooms for guests, or sort of rooms for guests to hang out, as one of the first rooms of their houses. So that's what I've built here. As you can see, it's quite basic. Over here I'm building one of the corner rooms, and I've decided that this will be a sort of dining room, or a sort of room to eat, a room to sit down, etc. Obviously I'm going to make it pretty basic. Just a few chairs and a table. As you can see, I'll be placing that down any moment now. There you go. And I'll be placing a simple bowl and item frame on top of the note block there. Not much more than that for this room, as it is rather small, as size is pretty much one of the determining factors that I'm using for what each room will be. As you can see, this longer room on the side of the house, I've decided that it will be a kitchen. Obviously, because it's larger, it actually has room for a fireplace or a place to prepare food here. Adding just a basic counter over here, and I'm also adding food storage. As you can see, I'm just placing meat on a campfire. Mesopotamians used, the basic ways to preserve food, such as salting or curing meat, but I really wish they would add pots to the game, like they're doing in the cave update. Next, I'm building a bathroom here. Just a simple bath. Mesopotamians did have toilets, however, they were not very common. I learned that in order for there to be positive health effects, 75% of households in a city need to have toilets, and the Mesopotamians never reached that. Next, here you go. This is the bedroom. You'll be wondering why I'm putting hay blocks in there, and that's because the Mesopotamians slept on hay mats. So although it might be weird for me to be putting wheat in the bedroom, it does sort of make sense. Next, I'm building a sort of shrine room here. Of course, since we're building the house of wealthy nobles and priests, well, if it's a priest, obviously there's be some sort of religious aspect in his or her house, if not all Mesopotamian houses. And then over here in this other corner room, since we're in a wealthy area, I thought it adds sort of a fancier room for someone that has spare time. As you can see, I've decided that this room will be sort of a garden room, as Mesopotamians did have gardens. And then of course I'm building the courtyard, or rather adding detail to it. And here you go. Here's the house. Of course we have our front foyer, entry room, dining room, pretty basic, just a bowl and item frame, just that. And next we have the kitchen with our counter, our fireplace, and our food storage. Really wish we could add clay pots to the game so it can be storage for grain. We have our bathroom here, if it can be called that without a toilet. Our bedroom, only 3 beds, some hay, obviously some clothes as well, leather cap. We have our shrine room here. Couldn't find a better religious object other than the totem of undying, of course. We have another fireplace here for just generally warmth. And then we have our garden room, and then the courtyard, of course, main purpose to cool the house, so not much out here other than some basic furniture. Now I'm going to be showing some footage of me building in first person. Building in first person is a lot easier for me, as I'm actually using my laptop. For those of you who didn't know, when I'm actually filming myself build in the third person, or just from my camera angle I should say, that's actually me recording from my laptop, me building on my phone. So it's a bit easier. As you can see in this house, I'm adding some of the same aspects in the other house. Again, food storage as you saw earlier, furniture, fireplace. Similar layout with the fireplaces on the sides. This room, since again we're in a wealthy area, I thought it would be for a scribe. As you can see, that sign I placed down, I thought the sort of pseudo text looked like Sumerian writing, or it looked like a clay tablet with some sort of hieroglyph on it. So I thought it was appropriate. And next, I didn't want to show the interior of all houses like I said, so here's a nice exterior view of me just adding detail to all these sort of canal side houses. Alright, so next I'll be adding the more exterior details. As you can see, I'm admiring my new skin here. I like to call it Construction Man. I'm using it in all of my new Minecraft builds from now on. To stop, or to digress no further, here, as you can see, I'm adding a grain silo. As I've mentioned many times before, of course, the residents of the upper city were more likely to have control over the city's sort of grain supply, as religious tithes allowed priests to acquire much grain. There are actually a lot more silos in the upper city than ones in the lower city. In the upper city I added around 9 in total, as well as a granary, while the lower city only has 3 silos as well as its own granary. Adding smaller details here, just some houses that didn't have a lot of detail in their front yards or courtyards. I added chairs, I added silos, I added flowers. And then over here I had a large blank space over here, and you might have been wondering what that was for. And that's because I wanted to create a sort of park or communal area, but I eventually decided to put a well as well as some tarps down. I added some trees as well, make it look nice. Wells weren't actually that common in Mesopotamia, although they were used. However, since I'm building sort of a wealthy area, I thought it would be appropriate to put one. As you can see, I'm just using the vanilla Minecraft desert well design, because, well, it fits. And then as you can see, I'm adding some more tarps in unused space. As, again, as with the lower city, Mesopotamia was hot, and the cities often had a sort of shade network of tarps and other things to help you stay cool. And then, of course, as you can see, I'm building another silo here. The thing with silos in the upper city is that wealthy citizens would often have their own walled complexes that would protect their silos as well as their own houses, but I don't really have enough room for that in this build, although it is very large. And yeah, that's the upper city. I'm done with the entire interior of the upper city, and now, next, I'll be working on the farmland surrounding the city. So I hope you will tune in the next episode, where I build the farms. So thank you for watching, hit the like button, leave a comment, and I'll catch you in whatever I post next.